I'm so sad to see it go. But I am happy how it ended. It wasn't how I thought it would end, but it was a happy conclusion. I'm going to miss this book series because through each book, I mean seriously, each series, there was so much growth from each character. I felt like I learned so much about these characters in their own unique way for this final book. I've always loved this author and probably did more video vlogs on her books than on anybody else's. I mean, the way that she writes, her books just leave me begging for more. Like, what's gonna happen now? Jaylin's World by Brenda Hampton. And this book left me in happy tears because this is the last book of the series. I mean, I'm so sad she finished it, but throughout the Naughty series, I mean, all the twists, turns, and suspense that like Jaylin and Nokia and Scorpio and Shane, man, I enjoyed this very much. Oh yes, they are back for one more roller coaster ride. Are you ready? Nokia is right where she needs to be in Jaylin's world, right by his side and doing the dang thing. As the story progresses, you start to see her looking out for herself and really questioning what she wants just as a woman. Scorpio is a woman I love and hate, or I love to hate. I mean, I know back then I said that she would pick up Jaylin's pen if he dropped it, and I honestly believe that she hasn't changed not one bit. You know what? I take that back. She's changed maybe a small bit, just like a little bit, but I really didn't see that much growth in her character, like from the last book to this book. But I'm gonna put it like this. She played her role way too well in Jaylin's world. Jaylin is who these two girls can't seem to get enough of, and who I still can't seem to put a finger on. He is still like living it up and happily married to Nokia the next minute, and then like he's running back to Scorpio and giving her everything that he wants in the next. The only character that I wish had a story like the rest of the characters, but he didn't really have one. I mean, you really saw his life through the eyes of Shane and Nokia, but you actually see a lot of growth when it comes to what he wants out of life and where he wants it to go. He really made me smile, but I so wish that we could like get inside of his head like we did with Jaylin and find out what is really on his mind when it came to marriage, when it came to life, when it came to his job. You know, we really didn't see that, and I wish that we could see it, but I was kind of happy where his character development went. So if you haven't read these books, it's okay, it's cool. Brenda Hampton makes you feel right at home to a point to where you really don't have to catch up. But if you want to see how these characters' lives unraveled, go on and go get the whole Naughty series. I promise you will enjoy it. So the last book, Naughty No More, ended with a few secrets, and you start this read off with learning about what happened to Scorpio. Her and her family get into a bad car accident and they all end up in the hospital. Her daughter and son end up really injured, and after her husband walks out on her, and for a good reason, she ends up calling Jaylin. While all of this is happening in Scorpio's world, Jaylin and Nokia are making me fall in love with love. These two people, this one couple, are the definition of soulmates. They are flossing and just living the high life while enjoying their kids. They're even trying for another one, and I thought, aw, that is just so sweet. Jaylin ends up getting this phone call from Scorpio, and instead of telling his wife, the truth, he lies to her, and he ends up going to go visit Scorpio's daughter in the hospital. Take in mind that in the last book, we all agreed that we were never going to see each other again. I mean, Jaylin gave up his custody rights towards Mackenzie. he gets there, and everything that is supposed to happen happens. If you read the last book, I think you know what happened. I think you know what I'm talking about. We all saw it coming. Decisions are eventually made by Jaylin to move Scorpio and her children closer to him. And because of Open Secrets, this is where we go from like a good read to like, wow. Jaylin returns home and Nokia immediately suspects something. Now that's a wife right there. She ends up confronting Jaylin about it, and then afterwards, she leaves him. Like, she ends up filing for a divorce and gets it. After that, you get to see each of these characters having to look within themselves to find out what's best not just for their kids, but for themselves when it comes to living in Jaylin's world. There was so much going on in this book that it is really a hard book to put down. You're going to see people confronting people, secrets coming out, even Jaylin trying to make things work with Nokia and her just not budging. I mean, at the same time, you really see their friendship, like their raw friendship from the beginning. I have always loved this series, and it's been a while since I read this, but when I picked up this book or ordered it from my Nook, I'm kind of glad that I did read it. Brenda Hampton's books always, you know, amaze me. And as sad as I was to see it end, I'm happy about where she took it. And if you haven't read the journey that each of these characters went through, you're going to want to read them. I know I did, so thank you, Brenda Hampton, for a wonderfully dramatic and suspenseful look.